Greetings. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to Earground New Voices Amplified. My name is Plot Marco and welcome to the program where we get to speak to creators, but also people that are not only just creators, but are working in business and connecting to the creative arts. And today we have the honor and the privilege to have none other than the lady from MASYSTEM. I know most of you are talking about this series. It's trending right now, but there's more to the story. I'm going to be speaking to Miss Chaururra, Florence Chaururra, who runs her business, but is also deeply connected to the creative scene. We're going to unravel much of that. Welcome, Miss Chaururra. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Plot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ground, for this opportunity. I'm grateful.
Great, great. Let's take you back, your journey, being a kid, growing up. What was your childhood like?
I was brought up by a single parent who was widowed when I was 11 years old. There were 10 of us in the family, and born in Mfakose, Harare. That's where I was raised, and I went to my primary school in Mfakose and then left for boarding school in River Mission, and then I graduated as a nurse and spent just a couple of months in Zimbabwe before I left for United Kingdom. That's maybe my short history, because I've got too much of a long history. I don't want to dwell on my childhood because otherwise it would take too much space. But that's the movement. Born and raised in Mfakose. Many people know me because I'm always there in Mfakose right now. I tried also to campaign as an independent MP, as a politician. So, and yes, I'm always in Mfakose, and that's where I was brought up.
Wow, quite an interesting story there. But you moved to the UK. Was it easy for you to settle?
It's never easy to go where there's no one that you know. So landing in the United Kingdom, you have to find a way and make a way. Then it was quite traumatic because there were not many Black people. That was 1992. So you can imagine what could have been going on in my brain. I was young as well. I was in my early 20s, I think 19, thereabout. So moved to United Kingdom and tried to find papers to stay there, tried to change my status to get my permission to live in the United Kingdom, and also to make my qualification be acceptable in the United Kingdom as a nurse. I didn't know where to start from, but like I said, when there's a will, the way is always paved. So I paved my own way and got myself into nursing. That's where I started.
Quite interesting that you mentioned, you talk about the will and the way. You know, I saw you a couple of years back, coming back to Zimbabwe. And I remember the first time interacting with you, you were hosting some events and you added some dances. And fast forward, now you are established, you're back home. Just tell me a bit about that experience, coming back home, settling after being away in the diaspora for so many years. Was this an easy thing for you?
A movement after 28 years of being away. I feel like a mixed race. Left United Kingdom when I was in my early 20s and then came back when I was almost 50. So that's 20 years of being brought up in Zimbabwe and then almost 30 in the United Kingdom. So those dynamics of movement shifting when I was leaving my teenagehood and working to the point of having children and then come back when I was in my late 40s, which is almost 50. It was complicated. I'd established myself as a family person then in the United Kingdom. And you've lost my video.
I know, I've got you back.
You've got it. Okay, so shall I carry on talking?
Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, okay. So Skype interview. So okay. So when I came back, it was like I was starting afresh. I'd lost contact with a lot of people, lost contact with the culture, what was going on, because culture is dynamic. It moves on. The language, the way things are done, the way people interacted. It had all changed. Even the art world with new musicians, with everything that was new when I came back. So I make my way because I came back late 40s and I established myself as a business person. So the kind of people that I was interacting with when I left were now different because now I was coming in as a business, I was trying to find my feet. So it was challenging. Even living in the United Kingdom anyway after such a long time was a battle. A lot of people thought, you know what, I don't know why you're doing this, you should go back. But to be honest with you, when I stayed in the United Kingdom, I never settled. I always knew that I wanted to go home. I didn't like the weather, I didn't like the culture, I didn't like the food. So it was almost like 30 years of crying every day in my heart. I was praying every day that God, I want to go back home. But like I said, when the will is there, you find a way, and I came back. So came back, tried to find my feet. That's when I started our service business where we servicing the diasporas. And it started well, which we've now diversified even into cargo business. But along the way, I started a lot of projects to help others. And I also attempted to, actually ran for the MP job in Fagose where I was born. I did well, actually.
The political terrain is different from maybe what you're accustomed to, like in UK, and now there's a lot of polarization and also a lot of intimidation and violence. How is it like? And being a woman, a lady in politics in Zimbabwe, I think it must be interesting.
The good thing that kept me safe was that I was an independent and I was a nobody, like nobody knew me politically. So people were actually trying to discover me, and I was making strides in terms of trying to campaign and getting people educated. And my campaign style was never political. I was actually educating people that they needed to make a choice of who they're going to vote, and it was their prerogative to make sure they go and vote. So so many people following me, the police and the local community. Actually, they were following me not necessarily because I was a threat, but they were interested to know what was driving me, because I literally went door to door, talking to people like what they do in Western Wales. You knock on doors. So I had a team of people, and we're doing some surveys, we're doing some knocking on the doors, some talking with small groups of people. So I was literally on the ground for almost 6-7 months. Talking to the local people. So like right now, if I go, everyone knows me because I talked to Anna Windy. I used to give out flyers like every other day. And the campaign was whole really lot of excitement. It was well strategized and calculated and informative. It was more of, I look at myself as I took my time out to educate the voter in Mfapasa. So now, if they're going to vote again, they will probably know who to vote for. Because I was saying to them, if you're born in Zimbabwe, it's your right to exercise your voting right. It's got nothing to do with politics, but you are supposed to go and choose. If you don't, you're saying whatever is there, we like it. And that's voting as well, which is wrong. Go and make your actually informed choice of who you want to vote. So that was the message that I was driving to try and persuade people to make that step to go and put that vote and vote for who they wanted to. And I was also teaching them how to choose someone to vote for and what they should look for as a person they want to represent. And I also was educating school children that they should also get to know their politics. Who is their MP? Who is their Minister of Education? Who is the Minister of Health? And I went around to children, and people actually were surprised that I was using that approach to educate of people. We really, I think I enjoyed that time. It was hard work. Tell me, I fell sick twice because it was like I was on the street and it was cold. June.
Yes.
I think that time was the coldest as well. But a lot of people, when I started, they were saying, "Oh, this is dangerous." But funny, the time when we started campaign, Gabi it's just left. So there was that relief, and we were allowed to go out and do our thing, which I never faced any intimidation from any political party, I must say. It was quite like, oh, this Zimbabwe's changed.
Yes.
So let's go out and do our voting thing. Yeah. So that's what happened. That was my experience with politics. And I still have people coming in saying, 2023 would like you to win.
Are you running 2023?
Because I'm the way we ever change. I've got a kid. No, I've turned into a church now.
Okay.
I'm so dynamic, you wouldn't believe. Because
Wow.
after we had finished campaigning, we had so many people following us. So I had to sit down with the community leaders that I was working with, and they said, okay, let's just form a church if you still want to help. The aim of the church is still to help send children to school, to help receive donations of whatever kind, and build children. So we've got kids that are going to school. We receive books. I've got quite a lot of white clientele that send me books, which I still give out to the church. So yes, that's what's happening right now.
Wow.
I haven't finished talking about me,
Now,
but I want you to direct to ask me what should we be talking about? There's too much.
It's quite intriguing because you have so many dynamics, like from nursing to business to politics, now to religion, and now
to arts.
arts. Tell me about that
I
connection.
think
What brought you to arts? What brought the connection?
I've got 3 children, and out of the 3, 2 of them they are into art. My daughter graduated at De Montfort University. She's a very good actor, so she's gone into acting, and I'm hoping that she's going to grow that desire to become even bigger, because she's a natural. If you ask her to cry, she'll just start crying, like real tears. And I think she gets it from me, because I remember when I was in school in Zimbabwe, in secondary school, I was very interested in drama. So, and all the teachers kept asking me to join in the drama if there was any acting to be done. And I did that without even thinking. So looking back, I was thinking, was I actually naturally gifted? And I not this gift, because it then went to my daughter, who is a natural, and she's done well with that, because she then went to graduate in School of Arts. And my son is an artist, but I
Yes,
sings.
that's right.
So yeah, so that's how I got into the arts arena, where I naturally I'm also I don't have a voice to sing, but there's something in me that sings. I love music. I've always, even when I was in the UK, when I went to a new church, I'll be picking up people that I feel they should join the praise and worship. That was my area.
Yeah.
And I gravitated towards the music side easily, where I would get involved in instruments and who's going to play the piano and who's going to do this. And it came to me in a natural space, and I'll do it without even asking for any reward. And then when my son started singing, I thought, that was nice. And I remember when my son, my firstborn son, my daughter actually, the first toy that I bought, funny enough, without thinking, was a guitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yes, it's all coming together now. Thinking,
Wow.
I think there's a music person in me. So we then got Matthew sings. And it was natural for me to support him, because I love music anyway. I could do it, until I die, even if no one pays me, because it's something that I actually enjoy, seeing people grow their gift of music. So that's why he's a natural artist. So
And
yes, we've
it's
taken
doing super well. I was watching one of his live performances, the concert, and I liked it. It was brilliant, and also a bit refreshing, the setup and everything.
Yes, he's grown. He was used to singing in church and all that, but he sanitized that to become a proper Afro jazz artist. And yes, and then recently we got another young girl from church who is also becoming a pop star. It's out of my love of music. When I see talent, I try and see if I can. Fungaim J. I'm sure you've seen me post
Okay, I
things.
think
She
the name
recently
is.
did a rendition, yakanzi,
Yes.
Gumoko Erudo, and then she's got workout time. It's me who's
Yes.
actually managing it.
Yes. Okay, great. But I mean, you're managing this artist,
So
and do you
yes,
manage yourself? Now you are acting. What? Tell us about that transition.
the acting came as a you know what? I was at church one day, and one of our media guys, I challenged him. I said, let's do a skit, an impromptu skit. And we did an impromptu skit about gay, and the child was called Ray, who was gay, and I was a church leader, and I was so furious about it. So it was a 5-minute skit, and they were all got excited when they took the video, and I put it on Facebook, and everyone was excited that, oh my God, you could react. So when I showed it to Lucky Pastor, I think it's a year ago, more than 2 years ago, he was actually said, "Oh, this is a budget video. It's quite interesting." He kept looking at it and said, "Hmm." So when they then had this MASYSTEM thing going on, I think they pictured, like he remembered that I had this thing about acting in me. So he approached me. He says, "Oh, we want you to be an MP." I said, "How befitting. We're going to be doing this series in a place where I was born, where I campaigned to be an MP, and now I'm actually an MP in acting." Actually, a real MP, but
But so the script
it's so
was
funny.
written, like you did not write the script. I mean, it was
No,
coincidence. Wow.
it was coincident, real coincidence. They just picked me up. They just said, "Okay, you've got this script, and you are the person who is fitting the character." And then I looked at it and I said, "You know what? I campaigned as an MP. People, when they see this, they'll think it's real, because nobody knows who actually is going on in pharmacy, especially if you don't live in pharmacy. It says it's in pharmacy MP, and they could actually think it's me because I campaigned quite widely. So if they see it, they would probably get emotional and think it's me. It's real, because it's actually now when we're releasing the series, a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, I knew this woman. I don't like the way she does it." Like they're getting emotionally connected, like it's real. I got myself into trouble because it's actually reality in a form. It's a weird reality.
And I think
What
that's
is
what
going
also
on?
caught my attention there, that you did it so real to the extent that it looked so real, you can easily hit, like start to hit the character to say, "Oh no, this lady," because you really fit into the character as if like
I
you've been
do.
acting for long.
Yeah, even my husband was saying, "Oh my God, I'm not sure if this is a good idea. You're gonna create a lot of enemies because they know you commit, and now you're acting so real in this character. How are people going to separate that this is not you actually?"
And how
Yes,
was
I'll
the
leave that. Because
experience?
I mean, I'm only acting, and
Yeah, but how was the experience like becoming
they,
the camera?
oh, you know what? I realized that I was naturally gifted in acting, but there is this gift, and then there's actually the reality, which I've always told artists that you could have a voice, but if you don't work on it, it won't work. So I had 2 weeks of almost a month of studying the scripts and trying to fit into the character. It was hard work remembering the script, remembering the person that I was working, the other artists that I was working with, characters, what they would say before me, and it was a whole lot, and trying to, because these people were all strangers. I mean, I know like you from a distance, but I got into their place when I'm going it. I just know them from internet. So I had to actually work with and build a relationship first so that they actually know me, and then get to understand my scripts and my character, what is expected of me, remembering my lines, and everything to do with the dressing, what is expected. It was a whole lot of crash program, and I was even laughing at them. I said, "You couldn't do this for me at 50." And like you were saying, you should write a book. That at 50, they discovered that I was a gifted artist in acting.
Great.
So yes, I mean, my son was helping me. We would sleep at 2 a.m. and then he would help drive me
Oh, nice.
back to where we were acting and helping me to remember the scripts. He would be the other characters, and we would sleep at 2 a.m. It was interesting. It was a good stretch. I felt my brain cracking, saying, "Oh my God, I've never been stretched like this." But believe you me, it was all worth it. I think I discovered a side of me that I didn't know,
Wow.
that I could actually be stretched further than what I thought I'd done.
Great. And now we're getting a lot of response. People now see you and they relate with you on so many levels. How has that transformed your personality in your life in public spaces?
Oh, believe you me, I've got so many people who come to me saying, "Oh, mother," they're now calling me mother. Which is a new name. I feel like I'm going it now.
Yes.
Mother MP. Is this a new space? And a lot of people whom I interacted with along the way when I was in the UK and when I came back, some of them with lost contact, they found me now back into their space through the acting. It's a good thing because I've had to now reconnect with a lot of people in a different way. And even my daughter was saying her friends who are non-Shona speaking are asking for subtitles because she's had to they all the two of them are in the UK. They want to show their friends, and they want it to be in a different with subtitles in English. And I was thinking, oh, that's good for us to getting a new following. But yes, it's a space that I'm thinking, if somebody says to me, oh, we've got this character, can you come and do it? What would I think of that? What would I say? Would I say, yes, I'm coming? Or I'll say, okay, not again. But I enjoyed, I'm not sure if I enjoyed the attention, but the acting part of it makes me connect with different people, find myself, how I can stretch. It's all to do with my personal growth. I never knew that you could still grow after the age of 50, which is interesting. And one of the guys who is into the arts, acting, said to me, in Zimbabwe, there's not many of your age who can do the acting in fluent English and then also in Shona and fit that character where you could be a mother, a granny, or a person from an office. And he was actually trying to sell the idea that I should take this serious. I should have an agent who can book me, who can do the bookings for me, who can manage me.
Wow, that's so great! Wow. And what are we expecting from you? What's next after this? Before we close,
I want to you know what, I'm very spiritual at the moment, and I'm a speaker. That's one of the sides that you probably discover me very soon. I like to talk, and the kind of preaching that I want to do is more educational, because I feel that we are in a space where we are very spiritual as human beings, but we are losing ourselves in terms of understanding how life works. So coming from my own perspective, I feel that I could use God in making sure I minister to the kids the right way of life, and also how to grow themselves to get what they want in life without expecting too much of my miracles and all these funny tricks that are happening in the world right now. Because we speak of prophecy, we speak of miracles, we speak of all this, but we don't actually teach human beings how to work for themselves using their faith background to get what we want. And that's where I belong. I belong in actually being real in terms of working and being a positive and having faith in what I do using God. Those are the two. The two should marry. We can't just have faith that we go back home and find some money somewhere and not actually have worked. It doesn't work in my brain like that. So I want to correct that space in my own way before God takes me, and I'll leave that legacy where I teach children about faith, but faith in application.
Great. I was about to ask the legacy, but it's great that you answered it there.
Yeah, that's the legacy that I want to leave. But with acting, I haven't started yet. I'm a very daring person. So if I get asked to come and do Netflix or whatever, or Bollywood, I would run and go and do it, because I don't have any small kid. My youngest one is 24. So I'm quite free to take my little bag and travel the world and have fun. Because I think where I am right now, I'm working for fun.
That's so great. And your word, before we close the program, your word to a young person who's maybe 20, 30 years younger, and they have a dream and a passion to get into acting, and you are there, you're seeing yourself taking on these challenges and doing it so well. What would you say to them?
Well, I'm going to say to the whole world, to everyone that is out there, that for some weird reason, human beings tend to be scared to discover themselves. Like I've mentioned a whole lot of stuff that I've told you what I do. I didn't even dwell on the business side, which takes quite a lot of my time. But you can imagine what I do: business, religion, like you said, acting, and I speak. I'm a mother. I'm married. I've got 3 children. I've done all of that in my time. So what I want to say to the young people who are watching this is, you can be whoever you want to be. All you have to do is be willing to try. Because I think trying is what a lot of people are scared of. It's painful to do new things. Like I said, when I started doing this acting with the MASYSTEM BUSTOP TV, it was painful because I had to sleep at 2 a.m. I had to remember my scripts. But you can only grow that way when you are ready to get yourself out there, throw yourself out there, and try anything and everything, as long as it's not illegal or it doesn't damage you. That way, that's the only way you can discover what really God has implanted inside you, because we all have capacity to do anything that we do. But most of us, we're so scared. We lack faith. We go to church, but we're not really rooted in our faith. So let yourself loose. Go and do. Try it out. You never know. You probably have so many facets in you that are waiting to be exhumed or polished so that you can be a superstar.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was really inspiring. I think I too also grasp a bit of inspiration from there. And thank you so much for sharing so much of the wisdom and taking your time to be on Ear Ground. We'll definitely keep following MASYSTEM and other productions that you're going to be on. And we hope to catch up with your kids, mainly your son, and hear his story in the next couple of days or weeks.
Oh, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm very, very grateful. This is a different platform, so I know new people are watching. So thank you, Plot and Ear Ground team. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's been watching. I've been speaking today to Miss Chaurura, Florence Chaurura, and we've been speaking about her life from business, nursing, politics, and so many things. Now she's acting. She's part of the cast for a BUSTOP TV production called MASYSTEM, which runs every Monday at 10 a.m. And definitely look forward to it. It's something amazing, but speaks to a lot of the realities with regard to service delivery in Zimbabwe, and the politics of governance. And it's quite an interesting production that really speaks truth to power and society in terms of what needs to be fixed and how the dynamics are working. Until next time, stay tuned. Ear Ground, New Voice Amplified. I'm out.
New voices amplified. Ear Ground.